hey, I didn't see you there. Cheers. It's your pal Tyler here with Pointless Marketing. What am I doing? Just admiring this beautiful natural gas to propane conversion kit that comes standard in all the Bradford White Infiniti K Series Tankless. What's that? You've never heard of the Bradford White Infiniti K Series Tankless? Well, you know what? Maybe I'll show you a close-up here and we'll take a little peek at this unit. All right, guys, let's talk about some of the key features on the Bradford White Tankless here. One thing you'll notice different right off the hop is our waterline connections are on the top of the unit. So that actually makes it really good for retrofits. But anyway, moving forward here. So you can see that we have the cold water inlet on the right hand, that comes into the unit, and then the hot water outlet on the left. So notice on the hot water inlet, this hex head here, that's where the inline filter is. Now, please, please, please clean your inline filters regularly. So it doesn't matter which brand of tankless you run with. If there's not enough flow going inside these units, it won't trigger it to fire. So that's one of the leading causes of failures with tankless. So it's really easy. Just unscrew that, pull the filter out, give her a little clean, and put her back in. So that's one of the key things to notice right off the hop is the top connections. And then let's talk about the venting real quick. So you see, we can do 2-inch venting. So you can run them separate. And we at Bradford White, we recommend using separate penetrations when you're leaving the building. We don't really recommend the bazookas. It really restricts the flow, especially with 2-inch. So anyway, we run 2-inch venting. So you could each run the exhaust and the intake at 60 feet each, which is nice. Don't forget to accommodate your elbows there. The nice thing, when you bump it up to 3-inch, you can actually run up to 280 feet each intake and exhaust. That's right, 280 feet. So that's just a couple of things on the top of the unit here. Let's work our way down. I'll show you the bottom. All right, guys, well, here we are underneath. So let's take a look at some of the features down here. One of the nice things with the K Series Bradford is we have built-in flush valves. So you don't have to buy the separate tankless kits. These come standard on the K Series. Just hook up your hoses, give her a good flush, and away you go. Just have yourself a lovely day. And then, yeah, we got the flat blade here, so when you can open and close those valves. Another thing is we got the condensate down here, 3/4 inch. So it does have an integral trap. You don't got to worry about putting your own traps. Just put on your FIP adapter, away you go into neutralizer, and send her down the drain. Lastly is the big one is the gas line. It's a 3/4 inch connection, because keep in mind, the two sizes for the K Series are 160,000 BTU and 199,000 BTU. So if you are doing a retrofit, which I mentioned earlier, it is nice because the water lines are on the top, please have a look at your gas sizing, because the difference between a 40,000 BTU tank and 199,000 BTU tankless, it's pretty big. So as long as your gas sizing's there, you're good to go. And also, I did say it's 3/4. You can run a 1/2 inch, but keep that 1/2 inch as minimal as possible, because when it's running, you're gonna have to break out the manometer if you choose to go 1/2 inch. So from standing pressure to dynamic pressure, you want no more than 2 inches of water column drop in pressure. So anyway, that's a look underneath the unit. Now let's take a little look inside. All right, guys, let's take a little look inside on this unit and I'll show you how she works. Then we'll finish off with going through the digital display and setting some of the controls. But right now I'm gonna show you a little trick with the cover here for servicing. So I've already removed the 2 bottom screws holding the cover on. So they just snap off down here. And then when you pull the cover off, it does have a wire to the display. The little trick I was gonna show you is you don't have to undo that every time. It'll just hang nicely on the relief valve here because this cover's nice and light. So now let's take a nice close-up at the inside and look at how this works. All right, guys, let's have a quick look inside this unit and go over how it works. Starting off with the cold water. The cold water inlet comes through the filter. Down in the back right corner on the bottom here is the flow sensor and water valve with engine. That water valve with engine actually has turbines in it, so we can tell how much water is actually flowing through this unit, which helps the gas valve and the blower modulate. So as you can see here, it has a beautiful 22 to 1 turn down. So anyway, so the water comes out of the water valve with engine into the primary heat exchanger, and there's a sight glass here you can see when this unit's fired. So this is where the highest temperature is in the whole unit. So that's where the primary tubes are. And as you can see here with the primary heat exchanger, we're going with copper, because copper has 25% more heat transfer than stainless steel. So this is where the water comes through first for the primary heat exchanger. Then it works its way down to the secondary heat exchanger. And this is stainless steel. The temperature is cooler, so this is where the condensation happens. As you can see here, it works its way into the integral trap, which then goes out for the condensate. So after it goes through the secondary heat exchanger, the hot water comes down at the corner here. And as you can see, it hits that last flush drain valve, and then out to the beautiful building. And one thing to point out too here, there's a bypass valve. So after the water valve with engine, the cold water can come. And you can see there's a solenoid mixing valve there. So that's to prevent any cold water sandwich. Because we keep the temperature in here nice and hot, we don't want to have any hot, cold, as cold water sandwich as it's called. If there is the water's too hot, it'll quickly temper it with the cold water, because we want a nice, even, steady temperature going out of this unit. So that's a quick look at how the water goes through the unit. Now let's have a quick look at the gas. All right guys, let's have a quick look at the gas in this unit. So the gas comes into the gas valve, and you can see there's two solenoids. One's a safety solenoid and one helps modulate. The gas then carries on into the chamber. Behind here's the natural gas orifices. And I mentioned earlier, each unit comes with a conversion kit. So this here is the propane conversion kit with the 3 different size orifices. So you pull the 4 screws out, pull that clip out and slide in the propane conversion clip, and then flip a dip switch and you're converted to propane. So inside there, the gas has 3 different chambers, goes into the mixing chamber. So we have the gas and air mixture. And right here you can see the blower. Because right above, that's where the combustion air comes. Into there, that's where the mixing happens. You see the screen. Make sure the screen stays clean. I didn't mean that to rhyme. But anyway, there's 2 screws there. If it does get them getting really dirty, you pull it off, give her a good cleaning, put her back on. And then, yeah, that's where the combustion happens. You have a nice sight glass to see a pretty blue flame. Anyway, that's a quick overview of the water and the gas inside. Quickly touch on the controls, and that'll be it. All right, guys, let's have a quick look at the display here. One thing I want to point out too is when you first get this and you plug it in, it's going to show a 180-second countdown. What it's doing is off the hop, it's doing a big calibration to make sure it's set. So once it's finally ready to go, it's going to say 120 because that's where it comes factory set at. But let's say you want to go up to 140. If you try to go up there, it stops at 130. Like, what the heck? So what you need to go is quickly go in the settings if you do want 140. So hold down the plus, minus, and the P for a few seconds, then the screen will come up. There we see the P4. We're gonna wanna go to, we see the letters LM for limit. Where are ya? LM. Oh, right there, let's go back, LM. So we'll enter it with a P. So right there's the limits at 130. Let's set that to 140. Hold down the P for a few seconds so it blinks. There we go. And we'll press P to exit. Then we're gonna look for the letter E for exit. P again, and we're back at the home screen. So as you can see here, we got up to 130. Now we can actually take it up to 140 setting. So anyway, guys, that's a quick overview of the Infiniti K Tankless series. All right, guys, a few more things to touch on, that'll be all done. So probably the biggest thing you're wondering is, Tyler, how much hot water can this bad boy put out? Let's touch base on that right now. As you can see here, I have the flow charts from Bradford White. That would be really nice to look at the 35-degree temperature rise and put out 11.2 GPM. But let's be real, this is northern Alberta. Our groundwater is borderline freezing in some places. So we have to look at the 90-degree temperature rise. So as you can see there, a 90-degree temperature rise, we put out 4.4 gallons a minute. So unless you have a miraculous warm water coming into your home, or maybe you got a holding tank, that's where we're gonna get out. And then secondly, regarding these units, cascading, you can cascade them. You can cascade actually up to 24 units. That's just a separate kit, which is basically a cord, that's where they communicate. And lastly is warranty. These units have a 5-year parts warranty and 15-year warranty on the heat exchanger. So anyway, guys, I just want to say thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. It was a little longer, but a lot to cover. So you guys keep it classy out there, and I'm sure I'll see you again.